Once again, our customer has chickens in a garden, but folks, this video ain't about chickens. This is about simple pumps and engineer775. Probably should call this video Big Man in a Little House. Is this like a troll house? Hey, boss.
Hey, what's up?
Before we get this thing too taken apart, this one we're doing this is what's it called when you do good work, philanthropic work? It's not for, this is for profit. We are not much. We are putting in this,
helping out a nice lady.
Putting in a well pump, backup well pump, simple pump for this lady. She's real worried about her water system. She's prepping, elderly woman.
Taking care of her mama.
She's taking care of her mama, so we're gonna harden the water system. So this is what we got. Thought maybe this roof was removable. Twas not, so I had to make my own port. Made a port. And we're just hanging out in this little building together on a hot July day. Getting eaten by mosquitoes and ants. Whoa, what have you? Foraging for mushrooms.
Oh my.
What are you gonna do, boss?
I gotta drain off that bladder tank.
Alright.
I was thinking of using this.
So,
Drain her off, boss.
step one, drain that bladder tank. Give me some of that good drinking water. Oh, I guess I don't want to drink that, do I? Hose looks a little old. This is a flat South Georgia country. There ain't no, you can't put this thing in a hole.
I'm gonna get my sonar.
Got to measure the static water level of the well. Did I ever video this part?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm.
This is just like pure getting it. Go, boss, go. Oh, he got it. He loosened it.
So I gotta bring the big old pipe wrench.
Get that big rigid out here. Leave the aluminum one on the truck. That one's just for looks. Alright, so we just pulled this well out of here, drained it.
By hand.
And jerked it up out of there. That's called pulling a pump without a crane. I was a little bit.
My daddy said.
I would have just quit, but.
Strong like bull, dumb like fence post.
Oh. It's a nice day here in July in the spidery ant-infested pump house.
Hold tightly if it falls.
Okay. Wrap this around your leg. Yeah, this is a nice pump house. Oh, that's
simple pump. I pre-drill these, so I don't have to do that in here, because that's a pain. And now I'm gonna go back with a little
that good stuff.
Teflon and True Blue. Dude, it's a sauna in here.
It is.
It is ridiculous.
I'm not sweating like you. I don't know why. Must not be working.
You ain't lifting and piping.
Well, you don't have these state-of-the-art pants. I have actually some cutting-edge clothes.
Get some fans in there and coolers, Peltier.
Yeah. There's some skeeters in here, some spiders. There's some electrical work, some insulation, rust.
I always like put Teflon over
Little
all
snakes.
the old rusty stuff
Snake skin right
that
there.
nobody uses.
Yeah.
Years later, somebody will thank me.
You're a True Blue guy. I'm a Blue Monster guy, but you know it's all right. Putting it back on. How's that look?
Good.
You don't ever have to replace those parts?
I do, but I'm not on this one.
There was a guy here. Somebody came in here with a Union many years before us. Some red hot blue. He was just
now
plumbing.
I could put a spigot in here, but I'm gonna actually put it to that and backfeed there because that one seems okay. You can shut that valve off if you want to.
Welcome to Griffin, Georgia, where pump houses are 2.5 feet tall, and we nail the roof on with a bunch of collated nails, ring shanks, so they'll never come off.
Now the question here, boss, how much flexibility do we have? This is always the trick.
Where the height right?
Yeah, not the height, but the position, without having to replumb the world.
It's all about the position.
I think I'm going to bring the wires up through that side.
Through the port?
I'm going to put her simple pump on this side. And hopefully this will be...
I mean, what if somebody's going to sit in here and pump?
Yeah.
Alright. There's only one way to do it. You look awesome.
Yeah.
It's Scott prefers to wear thick pants and flannel shirts in July.
That's all.
You coming down off that mountain and find out what it really feels like in the summertime. Thank you, buddy. He's not ready for this time. He's not ready for this climate.
That's how I lose weight.
Sitting on buckets. What's that place called where we're going to eat lunch?
Hogfather.
Hogfather's. Yes, that's where we're going to eat. Alright. Scott has field fashioned a sophisticated pump lifting device. Most people use a crane, we just use a pump lifter. It's a gray wire pump lifter. Alright, boss. You got your bar? You got your lifticator?
I do. Okay, now the bar through the gap.
The lifticator?
Yeah. See, I've bent it a few times.
Yeah. High technology here. The lifticator. Okay. Oops. Alright, I'm going to lift. It's going to be a good lift. Now, am I going to loosen this?
I'm going to unlock it. You just got to flip up the handle when I say so. Alright, go ahead. Get out of there.
Get it out there.
No. Just swiggle the cap. I got this. Just make sure it fits on there good.
Alright, it's on there.
Alright, wire. Rotate it back. Hold on. That's okay. That's alright. I think we're gonna. This is gonna be a problemo.
No problema, huh? Because it's the way it's. Oh, okay, I see what you're
If
saying.
we can move the bladder. Are there any gappage? We need to. We need to basically pry that.
I see what you're saying.
We're gonna scoot the bladder tank back just a bit.
Alright.
Usually enough flex in the plumbing. Just be careful. Don't break anything. Oh hee oh hee.
What do we got here?
We're good. We're good there.
Yeah? That's it, huh?
Get this off here.
Mighty nice of that fella to bring that union out here. We sure do appreciate his dedication.
You could heat the, I guess you could heat that PVC up if you had to. You really had to get some flex on it, you know?
Or replumb it.
Or replumb it.
Oh, watch that stabber.
Or just kick it.
Okay, that's not too bad. Not a lot of pressure on there. You just don't want a lot of pressure on there.
Man, so
Let's
that's how
check
you
to
save
see that the-
$1,000, huh? On a pump truck?
Yeah, I'm just looking. The thing that's always horrible.
It's a gasket.
Where is it? Oh, it's there. Okay, phew.
It's in there.
Apply a little bit of silicone onto there.
Now at this point, how far along in the install would you say we are?
We are about a third.
Alright.
No. A quarter. We need to verify this static. And we need to get.
Get some rockage.
We got no problem getting this back in there. We need to put a plug. I need to get out of this.
So, are you about ready for some sweet tea and cheese danishes? I didn't know they ate cheese danishes in Griffin. I thought that was all like
Isn't that
grit cakes, fried corn
must
cakes.
have heard my accent.
Fried corn cakes.
I even got a little fan blowing in there inside their coop.
Oh yeah?
We ran electricity to the little coop last.
That's a nice chicken coop.
Well, knock on wood, I've never had any problems with anything getting them at night. I just shut that door on the fence coop, the coop area here.
Yeah,
I just shut that door and they've been secure.
it looks pretty good.
If I had it to do over again, I would have put hardware cloth everywhere.
Everywhere.
But you know, you live and learn.
Oh, that's a good coop.
I was grateful to get this.
It's a very nice coop.
And I would have had better overhangs.
Uh-huh.
The roof overhang, because we had to rig up this over the egg box, because every time it rained, their little thing would get flooded.
Oh yeah, through where the hinge is.
Yep.
What do you got going on, boss? Teflon tape on everyone?
Teflon tape on every one.
5 wraps?
And we make sure that the weep is on the top. That is the fatal flaw if you put the weep
Put the weep somewhere else.
somewhere else. Then you gotta do a lot more pumping to get
You getting
water.
hopped up on sweet tea in here?
Yep.
Throw it in a mayonnaise jar. You're gonna start slipping them down, huh? Well, that's easy. Now, what is that? Your tripod?
Yeah. It's high dollar.
That is high dollar. And what is that? That's the old couplers?
Extra pipes and plumbing, 3/4, 1 inch, and
Oh yeah, I forgot about how they changed that top.
yeah, they went to the different couplings. Grab that piece right there.
Like the cylinder. Alright, so that's the pump cylinder. Put that on the bottom
That's the 5
piece.
gallon a minute pump cylinder.
That goes on.
Everything threads. Everything is normal thread except when you get to the very top. That's a left-handed thread, and you'll see when the handle goes on that. Typically, you don't want to keep these out in the sun, but we're good today because they'll get hot.
Alright, so I'm going to go hop on top. You're going to hand them to me?
I think so, unless you can hop on and off and go get them when I'm underneath there. It is pretty dark. Anyway, we're recording. This is the safety tool. Looks like a tuning fork, aluminum, that holds the simple pump couplings. So as long as that's under the coupling, it cannot fall down into the well. It kind of looks kind of scary the first time, but it's fine. It'll hold 30 to 40 sections. Okay. And you got to tighten the rod first. The other thing you don't forget are the rod guide seals. The rod guides, they keep the sucker rod in the center of the pump.
So I got all the drop pipe right here. I'm just standing on this roof. You're gonna have to give me some room in here, man. I gotta see what you're doing.
Well, you got to go over there.
No bucket, huh? The bucket is your desk? Oh, thanks. I'm so scared of spiders over here. Alright, so you got...
See, that's the #1 killer of this job. You're scared.
Fear.
You just...
So what do we got here, Bob?
Okay, well, we got a little bit of dirtiness.
I think we call that filth.
See you filming?
Filthness.
Alright. So we got here the cap. Obviously you have to make a little bit of adjustment because the T was in the center of the original. So sometimes you have to scoot the bladder tank. There's usually always enough flex to move it over.
Pray for no breakage.
Yeah, we don't want to put that in tension. And there was no pressure on there, so we're good. Then we started putting the pipe down using this safety tool that looks like a tuning fork that holds the stainless coupling. Make sure the rod guides are in there. Those are the little plastic guides that keep those in center. And you can feel the water. You have a feel for it. See, it's in fluid. You can tell the difference. Now you're lifting. If you pull up on that, you can tell the resistance. If you pull up on that thing, you can tell you're lifting water.
If I do it too
and
much,
then you
water
feel that check
come...
valve go.
Yep,
You feel that vibration.
Yeah.
When you feel that, you don't want water coming out the top.
Yeah,
so.
feel it.
All right, so that's a good sign. We're at least 30 feet into the water. Be careful when you put these. I know you know, but cranking that stainless inside the plastic.
Is the best way to break a bushing?
Bust a bushing.
So how tight is tight?
You get a feel for it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can go ahead and bust some bushings, and then you'll know.
If you bust this bushing, can it thread right back in?
Yeah, you gotta get another bushing.
Did you put that bushing in?
No, that comes from the simple pump like that. But before we put this on, we have to put our 3/4 stainless rod on.
And this is the one that's left hand threads?
The top of it is.
Okay.
And that croissant. So I just snug them. Just hold the. Just snug it up there pretty good. Now this is going to be the trick in this little pump house. Hopefully, I did not calculate that.
Oh, the height? Oh, I can get that taller. You can't push it down?
No. Now I could have. Oh, you'd have to hold it like here the whole time while we put this rod inside there, but then it's hard to tighten.
So what's the other alternative?
Oh, we make a hole. No.
There's little sawzalls right there.
Where? Outside?
Here, I'll grab it.
I'll get it. Here, hold that.
We're in a tiny house.
Call this video Tiny House Plumbing.
What happened to that rat? Oh, there it is.
You gonna cut it, boss? Oh yeah. Oh
What was
yeah.
that? The light.
That was your light.
I should have covered this up a little bit.
Get it, boss.
Okay. So now what you got to do, you kind of got to lift the cylinder at the same time. You got to wiggle that. See how it's protruded through the top?
Protrusion.
Grab a hold of this and then get this started. Hopefully.
Will that slip down through?
Oh, yeah,
Can it
will.
fall?
Oh yeah, it can. It can't fall, but it'll fall where you got to
Down.
take this apart.
Okay.
And
So
that
are you
really-
holding the whole way to the
I am.
stack right there?
Yeah. Not a lot of weight because it's in the water, but I need to get this knuckle. And because we have no room to spin this around, I need to take this apart.
Okay. You can take it off.
Yeah, just give me the knuckle.
So the main thing about that is don't let go of this piece until you put the knuckle on.
Yeah. There.
So nothing on this gets like tightened to the
No.
point of
Tighten to the point of
failure. Tightened to mechanical failure.
I don't really like doing this, but
What?
putting the wrench on here just to hold it. That's good. Just don't like scuffing it.
Because of the look or because it
The
has
look.
to be? Okay.
Make sure that you have this tightened down so when you tighten this thing,
This is such glorious work, man.
sometimes I like to make sure. It's not like these night packs are nice and thin. You can fit in places where regular stuff can't.
And what are you doing? Just making
I'm
sure
just
it's
making sure
tight
it's
enough?
tight in the coupling
Oh, because you got the,
because it'll break
what's that thing called?
the bushing, the threaded bushing.
And then you got stainless onto this coupling. Okay.
So then, okay, so now we can set the pump down in past the clamp. What you have to do, you got to pick up the whole pump, kind of hold it with one arm, take that clamp off of there,
You loosening it?
loosen it up, do the dance.
I got the pump.
Alright, now we kind of let it come in. Alright, so I just stop it like right there until we
Okay,
get all
so
the
you can
plumbing.
set the height.
Oh yeah, you can run it all the way down, and we will, but for plumbing purposes, we'll go ahead and plumb while it's easy to reach. So we have these goodies. A lot of times you're in a very tight cover, like a culvert with you have no room to work. They have the tiniest rocks, so sometimes I keep a couple of these around.
Oh, shredded
Yes,
stainless.
3/4.
3/4 straight.
And that way I can tuck things down in tight so I can get it back in there.
That's real nice.
But I'm not going to use that
Okay, not too bad.
because there's no need, and that's very nice and expensive.
Then we got here the check valve.
This is the CV1 kit. Make sure you're facing away from the pump, the correct way of the flow. And this allows you to actually pressurize the bladder tank. Without this, you're basically, it's this check valve versus the check valve that's in the pump.
Can you just say what a check valve is real quick?
Check valve?
If you're watching this video and you don't know what a check valve
Okay.
is, turn it off right now.
You cannot watch my channel or John. A check valve is a one-way valve. It's kind of like a diode in the electrical world. You can't have flow of water against the check valve, and there's usually an arrow indicating the flow of water. And this is a spring check. See this thing? I'm pushing against a spring that pops back. It's got a rubber seat on it that seats against a nice machine surface, so when the water's pressurized, it cannot come back on the pump. They're in everything. Swing checks. This is a spring check. There are swing checks.
They can flap though. They're a little bit loud.
This doesn't
We call it
flap.
flap check in Georgia. We don't call it swing check. Northerners.
technically it's a
Northern
swing.
aggression on
Oh,
There's
why do you
more.
gotta go there?
more northern
We're
aggression.
below the gnat line.
We are below the gnat line. This is the skeeter house. Make sure you leave that part up so that the pressure gauge shows. I'll tell you one thing, I really feel safe when I'm around you. I always feel really safe around you, boss. Yeah, that's a really good spot for it. They always tighten to the best spot, don't they?
That's not bad. That's
She's pumping right here.
And we're gonna rotate it.
Okay.
We ain't done. So, everyone, what's this wavy handle for? A lot of times, the notch in this bracket, if you can get that in that first notch, go ahead and use it as leverage to take the pressure off of here. It just makes it easier to line up this pin. Okay?
So you've never filmed yourself doing this?
I have, yeah, but not to that level of detail. I got a whole installation video, but I've never, maybe I have that in there. Alright, so this is we need to lower it a little bit. She's going to smack her hand. So we need to bring it down just a little.
Skeeter tank. I might come out here a hardy board.
No, it's a nice well house. As far as well houses go, see, this will go up and she won't. I might rotate it over here a little bit. Get away from that light bulb. And she literally could sit here and just pump, and this would be very easy.
Let there be water. Ooh, man.
You get that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we don't want to lose anything. These parts. So now it's kind of.
You gonna show her? Are you gonna hook the hose up? There's a hose in there.
Yeah. This is my little simple pump bag. My miscellaneous things.
So all she's got to do to tie into her system
is make the connection. We already put a brass hose fitting on here. Now you can also take a hose pipe and hook it right to that and pump wherever you want to, but found this to be the easiest.
And you're just gonna leave it closed. I do that by hand too. It's just hard to get in. You sure?
And I'll tell her to leave this one on here.
And just turn the valve.
Yeah, when you turn the valve, you'll see the pressure gauge. You want to film that. Always tell them when you're wanting to test, see the pressure gauge go up. Because that is pressurizing against this and also against the check valve in the pump. Whew, she got it cranked. That's very high pressure.
Maybe that's why they did that, because they had the low flow on the pump.
Wow, they have got that cranked. So let's take a gander at what this is probably starting out at a 40-60. No, it's a 30-50 crank. You can see the thread? Somebody's come in here and just cranked that thing down to, basically that one is raising the range. So it started off as a 30-50. They've got it up to a 55-75. Now you can buy pressure switches that are 60-80, which is kind of what the range here is, but they've made this 30-50 operate like a 60-80 by cranking that thing. And this is just a little analog switch, so they start to fail when you put that much pressure on them. And then your fine-tune adjustment is just adjusting the cut on pressure, so you can minimize that range down from 20 to like 5 to 10 by adjusting that one. But you can see there's a lot of thread showing. They were really rough on that pressure switch, so I guess she complained about the pressure in the house, so they cranked it up. But that's not a problem.
Because the pump was weak.
Yeah, probably pump not keeping up. So, you know, it's a little tiny 20-gallon bladder tank. Probably has about probably 10 gallons of water in it, tops, pressurized, even at 75 psi. Okay, we just need to show her how to do it, fix the roof.
Oh!
just so they don't freeze. But if you hook that up and then turn that red valve on all the way. Okay, now what happened here, you notice this gauge went from 0 all the way up.
No, I didn't know.
Well, it just went boom,
Okay.
and that means it's very hard. So now, see, if you hear that?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that to yourself.
Gotcha.
But you're up at a really high pressure at 65 psi. So it's like you're lifting water about 200 feet in the air. You don't want to do that.
No.
Remember how easy it was just to pump it without that. So what? You need to shut that valve the other way. A lot of times if they're...
Okay. Yeah, it's leaking bad.
Yeah, when they're in, they will... We'll see if we
Okay.
can adjust that packing. Okay, so what I do...
Do I need to go to the house and turn the faucet on, or...?
Well, it's gonna... Because you have so much pressure, we'd have to turn the power off, drain everything down. This is how, when you open that valve up like you did and pump the water, as long as there's something, see nothing's open in the house, then it would pump right through. The same effort that you just pumped it into the bucket. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So all you have to do is open it. I'll fix the leak, don't worry about the leak.
Okay, thank you.
And then you just have to hook this hose to that spigot and open it. And we're leaving this on here, so it's not like you have to attach anything.
Hook what hose?
This hose.
This hose goes where?
Right to that bottom of that. See how it's hooked to the bottom of it?
Yeah. Okay.
So we're just sending water through that hose into your plumbing, into your house.
Okay, so it goes out to the house,
wherever
and to
your
the
plumbing goes.
garden and
Everywhere.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't realize, they're like, well, I gotta pump this thing up for it to
Yeah,
work.
I thought I'd have
You
to.
do not need to do that. Please don't. You'll wear yourself out.
Yeah.
So that's why we gave you a long, it's very easy to pump, and then you can put the water wherever you need to. And that's it.
Okay.
Let me work on that leak,
let me
and
get out
then
of your
but
way.
that chair, and if you're, it's I would just sit in the chair and pump. That's how I would do it.
Easy pump.
Very
Yeah,
easy.
that is easy. You just don't know. Well, as a prepper, you do know what
Yes,
it means.
I know what it means.
You know what it
Well,
means.
that's usually our very first thing we want people to do.
Yeah, well, I've been trying, like I said, for 10 years to get somebody to help me.
Really?
10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I've called people out here several times. I even had a solar man out here. He didn't want to mess with it.
Who was it?
I don't know. It's been so many years, I'd have to go back and just probably whoever I found online or...
Anybody else that needs help.
Yeah.
Well,
Tell everybody.
Don't you worry, I certainly will, because without water you can't do anything.
No, ma'am, you cannot.
All right, well,
I got the crescent, boss.
Okay.
I guess you're going to be the one that I'll talk to about the solar then, correct?
I mean, if you want any solar, yeah, just let me know.
Well, let me kind of tell you what I'd like.
We are done with this simple pump. It was totally done. And just doing a little, got to do a chicken and garden tour. What a beautiful chicken house. Cute little chicken house. Nice chicken house. Professionally built. Good garden here. She was talking about her onions. I don't see the onions. But she has a nice little garden. I mean, this lady's, for a single woman out in the middle of nowhere, she's out here working it, for sure. She's got a fig tree, compost pile. Oh, there's the onions. Nice garden. So we may come back and put a solar generator in for this nice lady. South Georgia. Hot as the dickens. Hot as Hades. Oh, look at that ham. Where's that ham tower at? There it is. Hot as all get out. Here in South Georgia. She made us a Danish. So I'm excited about my Danish.